Good morning, students. Here today we will talk about the pregnancy and embryonic development. In the last class already we had discussed about the pregnancy. So in that we were talking about the placenta. Okay, pregnancy and embryonic development. So in the last class we had, by seeing the structure, we came to know how the embryo is going to develop inside the uterus. Okay, except that after implantation, before that we had talked about the implantation. So in that implantation, what happens is the trophoblast cell, this is the uterus and this is the blastocyst. Okay, here the blastocyst will have a outer layer, cells which are arranged, flattened cells will be there. So these cells are known as the trophoblast cells. So these trophoblast cells get embedded by whom? By these uterine cells or the endometrium cells. So here these cells, after getting embedded, or trophoblast layer or particular blastocyst after getting embedded in the endometrium, these cells will make an envelope, or they are going to surround them and they are going to engulf them. After that, what happens is this trophoblast cell are going to form some finger-like projections like this. Okay, these finger-like projections, we can call it as the chronic villi. Okay, so these chronic villi, which are the finger-like projections, are surrounded by the uterine tissue and the maternal blood. Altogether, they will form one structural and functional unit, and this structural and functional unit we can call it as the placenta. Structural and functional unit between the developing embryo and the maternal or mother. Okay, that is the placenta. So placenta, which is also known as the organic connection between mother and developing embryo. So what are the functions of this placenta? Let's see. Sometimes they will ask for 2 marks. Functions of placenta. Here, the first thing about the placenta, it transports the oxygen and nutrients to the embryo. Okay, what it will do? It transports oxygen and nutrients to embryo. Second thing, it also transports carbon dioxide and excretory products from embryo to embryo. What are the things are going to transport it from the mother? Oxygen and nutrients. From the embryo, that embryo is going to release some of the excretory waste, right? Carbon dioxide. Who is going to take that one? That is also placenta. Okay, so the next here, placenta is connected with a cord-like structure, and that cord is known as the umbilical cord. Umbilical cord. Okay, placenta is connected with the umbilical cord to the embryo. In the last class, I had drawn that if this is the embryo, okay, and this is the placenta, how this embryo is connected with the placenta means with the umbilical cord. Okay, so this is about what? Placenta. Next thing, accept this. The placenta also acts as an endocrine tissue. Means endocrine tissue means they are going to secrete some of the hormones. What are that hormones? Let's see here. This is also one of the function of placenta as it acts as an endocrine tissue. Okay, placenta also acts as an endocrine tissue. Endocrine gland you have heard which releases some of the secretion. What are the secretion? Means this endocrine tissues secretes certain hormones. And what are the hormones? This is also very important for 1 mark. What are that hormone means? HCG, HPL, progesterone, and one more, that it is estrogen. These are the 4 hormones which is secreting by whom? By the placenta. Okay, what are that? HCG. What is the full form of HCG means? It is human chronic gonadotrophins. Human chronic gonadotrophin. H human placental lactogen. Placental lactogen. So these 4 hormones. Next is progesterone for maintaining the pregnancy and estrogen. So all these 4 hormones are secreted by whom? By the placenta. Okay, the next here, accept this one. Accept this. These all hormones are secreted during the embryonic development. Okay, and the placenta is going to form, that is at the first month of pregnancy only. Okay, so the placenta secreting this hormone for maintaining the pregnancy. Okay, except this one, there are some other hormones which are secreted in the female reproductive system during the pregnancy. See here, in the later stages of pregnancy, one hormone is going to be secreted, and that hormone is known as the relaxin. So let's see here. Here, in the later phase of pregnancy, in later phase of pregnancy, one another hormone is going to be secreted, which is called as the relaxin. A hormone is secreted. From where it is secreting means that is from the ovary. Hormone is secreted from ovary. And what is the name of that hormone means? It is relaxin. What about, see here, keep in mind for your next question. From ovary, relaxin is going to be secreted. Okay, from placenta, HCG, HPL, progesterone, and one more, estrogen. Don't be in confusion. These 4 hormones are secreted by placenta. Okay, but from ovary, which hormone? That is the relaxin. Okay, relaxin is secreted by what? By this ovary. Except this one, except HCG, HCl, relaxin, then progesterone, estrogen, and all. Some other hormones will increase in their level during the phases of pregnancy. What are that other hormones? Means, in addition, during pregnancy, the level of other hormones like the level of other hormones such as, see, level of other hormones are increased. Which are that other hormones here? Means that it is estrogen, then progesterone, then cortisol, thyroxine, then prolactin, etc. So all these hormones during pregnancy, all these, the level of these hormones will be in which form? It will be an increased form. What are the hormones? Estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, then thyroxine, then prolactin. So all these hormones at the very higher level. Okay, placenta secretes that 4 hormones, ovary secretes relaxin. Except these hormones during pregnancy, all these hormones will be at a very higher level. Why all these hormones will be at very higher level? Means for the fetal growth. Fetal growth means that whatever the embryo which is growing inside the womb, for their growth, all these hormones required in a very higher level. Okay, for the fetal growth and metabolic changes in the mother, and as well as maintenance of pregnancy. Okay, see, all these levels are increased. It will be at increased level for what? For, first of all, for fetal growth. Second one, metabolism or metabolic changes in the mother. Changes in the mother. The next, maintenance of pregnancy. For all things, these hormones will be at a higher level. For the growth of the baby, metabolic changes, what are the changes which are going to occur in the mother during the pregnancy? That one, and maintenance of pregnancy. Okay, so all these hormones will be at a very higher level. The next, further we will see about the embryonic development. Now next, see, after implantation, what happens means, whatever the inner mass cell, see, implantation, you have already studied, this is the endometrium, this is the uterus. In this there will be presence of an endometrium lining. Okay, this is the endometrium. Here it gets implanted or attached. Okay, the attachment of the blastocyst inside the endometrium, that is done by whom? By this trophoblast cell, that you know already. Then, where does this inner cell mass will go? What about these cells? getting implanted. Okay, after engulfing into the uterine wall, what about this inner cell mass? This inner cell mass will differentiate. What happens after implantation? See here, after implantation, the inner cell mass starts to differentiate. Differentiate means it starts to divide. Okay, it starts to differentiate. Starts to differentiate. After differentiation, these inner cell mass, whatever the cells in the structure it is there, it forms certain layers. Okay, see here, for example, this is the blastocyst, this ectoderm. After formation of ectoderm, next comes the inner layer, that it is the endoderm. After formation of ectoderm and endoderm, immediately a middle layer is formed, and that is known as the mesoderm. Okay, in this way, the inner cell mass are going to differentiate and form the new layers, new cells. That cells will arrange into an outer layer, ectoderm, middle layer, mesoderm, and an inner layer, that it is the endoderm. The next here, this inner cell mass will have some cells, and then some cells are known as the stem cells. Okay, in this inner cell mass, there will be presence of certain cells, that is known as the stem cells. Okay, that stem cells are also present in these layers, and further these three layers, ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm, these three layers will form the organs or tissues of embryo. Whatever the heart, kidney, stomach, liver, whatever the skin, whatever how the embryo is going to form, that all is responsible by these three layers. Who is going to form them? From where the cells are going to come? That is from these three layers. These three layers are responsible for what? Formation of the organs. Organs means you know. Okay, so all that organs are formed by these three layers. And in among this layer, there will be presence of some stem cells. Okay, what is the meaning of stem cells? Means these cells will have the potency to give rise to all the tissues and organs. Potency means ability. The stem cells have the potency to give rise to all tissues and organs. All tissues and organs are developed by whom? By the sum of the stem cells. Okay, this is about what? About the embryonic development. How first the organs or tissues are going to develop. The next we will see in which month how much the embryo is going to develop inside the uterus. Okay, so next let's see here. It is a next embryonic development. The human pregnancy lasts for it lasts for 9 months. How much? It will be of 9 months. In some other mammals, it will be different. It's not similar in all the mammals. For example, in cat and dog, it is 63 days. In cat and dogs, it will be 63 days. And in elephant, it is 623 days. But in human female, the pregnancy will be of 9 months. Okay, the next see, in human beings, after 1 month of pregnancy, the embryo's heart is formed. First, you listen here. During first month of pregnancy, what is formed here? That it is heart is formed. Okay, by using the stethoscope, you know the stethoscope. By using the stethoscope, you can hear the heartbeats of the fetal or fetus during the first month of pregnancy. Okay, the next, the first sign of growing fetus may be noticed by listening to the heart sound by using the stethoscope. Okay, the next thing, by the end of second month of pregnancy, the fetal will develop the digits and limbs. Limbs means legs and hands. And digits means that fingers are going to develop. At what time? By end of second month of pregnancy. What is formed here? That it is limbs and digits are formed. Limbs means hands and legs. Digits means fingers are formed. Okay, when? By the end of second month. The next, by the end of 12 weeks, that means the fourth month of pregnancy. So here, by the end of 12 weeks, means that is the third month, third month, all the organs will be developed. By the end of third month, that means the 12 weeks, that completes the trimester. Here during the pregnancy there will be 3 trimester. First trimester, all the 3 trimester will be of 3 months. First to third month, first trimester, fourth to 6th month, second trimester, 7th to 9th month, third trimester. By the end of first trimester, that is by the end of third month, here most of the major organ systems are formed. Major organs are formed. So altogether we can say when a fetus is totally developed means by the end of third month. Okay, after that, during 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, only their brain, their lungs, their skin, their hairs are going to develop. Okay, but all the major organs such as heart, kidney, stomach, liver and all, that is going to form during the end of third month. The next, so this, as I told you, major organs are formed. Along with these, the genitalia are also going to form. Genitalia means that their sex are also going to form by the end of third month. So here, external genitalia or genital organs are also formed. The next, the first movement. See here, there will be movement inside the womb of the mother. When these movements are going to start itself, it appears during the 5th month. Okay, here by the 5th month, a mother can experience a movement of fetus. First movement, they are able to move inside the uterus. Okay, first movement is noticed. Then accept that hairs on the head, hairs on head, that is also appears during the 5th month. Accept this. So this hairs on the head and first movement will be noticed by which month? That is by the 5th month. See, the next by the end of 24th week, that means the 6th month. By the end of 6th month, eyelashes, eyelids are going to develop. Okay, eyelashes. First of all, the body is going to be covered with the fine hairs by the end of 6th month, except that their eyelashes and eyelids are going to separate it so that they can open their eyes. Okay, here hair covers the body, then eyelashes and eyelids are separated so that they can open their eyes. Before that, it is totally sticked one. Okay, now during the 6th month, that is going to separate from one another and they can open their eyes. Okay, by the end of 9th month of pregnancy, the fetus will be fully developed and it is ready for what? For delivery or the parturition. Okay, so this is about what? Embryonic development. Or how, during which month, what are the things or what are the organs are formed. Next we will go for the next topic, that it is the parturition and lactation. Parturition and lactation. First, we will see about what do you mean by parturition. As I told you, average duration period of our human pregnancy is 9 months. Okay, that you know. And that 9 months, we can call it as the gestation period. From the first month to 9 months, whatever the fetus development is going to take place, that we can call it as the gestation period. This period of pregnancy, we can call it as the gestation period. Okay, so here what happens, at the end of 9 months, a vigorous contractions are going to occur in the uterus of the mother, and that is known as the parturition. See here, vigorous contraction of uterus, vigorous contraction of uterus at the end of 9 months. At the end of in the uterus there will be contractions because the uterus, it is made up of smooth muscles. Okay, it will undergo into the contractions which causes the expulsion or delivery of fetus, which causes the expulsion or delivery of fetus. And this whole process we can call it as the parturition. Okay, due to the contractions in the uterus, the baby or the fetus is going to expel out through the birth canal. That process is known as the parturition. Okay, so here this parturition, whatever the process is there, it is neuroendocrine mechanism, means it is associated with the endocrine system as well as with the nervous system. So that's why parturition is one of the neuroendocrine mechanism, because there is an involvement of certain hormones which are releasing from the nervous system as well as from the endocrine gland. So the signals of parturition originate from the fully developed fetus. Okay, the signals are going to originate from where? From the fully developed, means whenever the fetus is completing its time, that is 9 months. Okay, it starts to give the signals. The fetus will starts to give the signals. Here, the signals for parturition originates from fully developed fetus. Okay, the next and the placenta. Okay, you know the placenta, that is also going to cause the mild contraction of the uterus. There is an involvement of fetus, there is an involvement of placenta as well as the nervous system, that is the brain. From brain also certain hormones are going to release here. For what? For the parturition. So the placenta induces mild contraction. Placenta induces mild contractions, and that is known as the fetal ejection reflex. What it is known as? It is known as the fetal ejection reflex. So this will ask for 1 mark. What do you mean by fetal ejection reflex? After the signals are originating from the fetus during the completion of 9 months, the placenta also induces the mild contraction in the uterus, that we can call it as the fetal ejection reflex. Okay, what it is? Fetal ejection reflex. So when first of all the fetus is giving the signal, placenta is causing the mild contraction. The third thing what is going to happen over here is here the oxytocin releasing from where? From the pituitary gland of the mother. First thing, this is the first thing, first of what? Of parturition. This is the second one. What is the third thing here is going to happen is that third thing here, it releases mother pituitary gland. pituitary gland starts to release an hormone which is known as the oxytocin. Which hormone is releasing from the mother's pituitary gland? That is the oxytocin. When it is going to release? When there is a contraction from the placenta. Okay. When the contractions are going to occur in the uterus, that is why the signals are going to originate from the fetus. Okay. The next thing here, so oxytocin, what it causes means, oxytocin acts on the uterine muscles. Acts on uterine muscles. So when it acts on the uterine muscles, there will be stronger and stronger contractions. It causes the stronger and contractions. Due to this contraction, the fully developed fetus will expel out of the uterus. Okay. Fetus, it is going to, or the due to this stronger and stronger contraction, baby come out from the uterus, to the birth canal. Birth canal. What is that birth canal? That is in the vagina. So this is about what? About the parturition. Next is lactation. Okay, what is lactation? Let's see here. Next, that it is lactation. Here, the mother, it is a female human, will have a mammary gland. Okay, that mammary gland of the female undergoes differentiation during pregnancy and starts to producing the milk. Here, mammary gland, it starts to produce milk. During when? During the end of pregnancy. Okay, it starts to produce milk towards the end of pregnancy. Towards the end of pregnancy. And this process of production of milk from the mammary gland is known as the lactation. After the childbirth, immediately the mammary gland will start to produce the milk. That is known as the lactation period. So this helps the mother to in feeding the newborn baby. Okay, and the thing is that whatever the milk producing during the initial days of the delivery, that particular milk is known as the colostrum. So it has the colostrum. See here. The process, see, milk produced during the initial days of milk produced during the initial few days, means after delivery, means 2 or 3 days, till that time some yellowish colored milk is going to secreted from the mammary gland, that is known as the colostrum. During the few initial days of delivery, it is going to produce a milk that is known as the colostrum. What is that milk is known as? It is known as the colostrum. This colostrum contains the several antibodies. Okay, it contains antibodies So antibodies means which will fight against the foreign particles or foreign materials. Okay, so it contains the antibodies which are essential to develop resistance against the diseases in the baby. Okay, then next, so breastfeeding during the initial period of delivery or after the childbirth, the whatever the doctors will recommend means that is the mother's milk. Okay, so this completes your chapter that is the human reproduction. Okay, please solve the NCERT questions which are given back after the chapter. That all questions you have to solve and you have to upload in your WhatsApp group. Okay, in the next class I will start a new chapter that is the reproductive health. Okay, thank you.